G'day guys, Agent's Lady here, call sign Mongrel One, and if you guys haven't noticed yet, I've got a webcam now. It's not the greatest webcam, El Cheapo webcamo. Just a second. It's not a Mongrel stream unless something goes wrong. That was just the ads from the stream of mine that I'm currently watching to make sure that it's still good. So yeah, currently we're back in my asteroid hangar. There is my cutlass. And what we're going to do, I haven't actually played Arena Commander since my last stream. Haven't really been feeling up to it. It's been bloody hot where I live at. And the aircon just isn't doing the job. Anyway, so what I'm going to do, just checking on my stream there. Not dropping any frames, that's alright. Alright, let's have a look at the holo table. I'm gonna try taking a 300i into a multiplayer match, but I'm expecting that to not work. Reason for that is that there's been a bug since they patched in the Origin 325A, which is the interceptor or interdictor. Can't remember which one, but it's the 300i series combat version of the 300i. So there hasn't been a patch as far as I'm aware. I didn't download any patches, so I'm going to give the 300i a go and see if it works. But I'm expecting it for it to not work at all. So here we go. Yeah, we'll just go into a battle royale match and see how it goes. Alright, don't worry about trying to get the code there, because when I bring up the loading screen for you guys to see, you'll be able to see the code quite clearly. Alright, there's the match ID. I'm going to be changing the loading screen a bit too. I'm going to keep the slideshow there, but I'm going to put an overlay on it, and the match ID will be in a little spot there, and there'll be a little place for my webcam now so that you can see what's going on, see my face, and know that I am actually a human being. And I'll probably put the chat roll there as well, and it'll probably be an enlarged one so that you guys can see what's going on there. My internet's taken a fair few hits by the looks of it. It's kind of weird. It's a bit weird having a webcam as well, because I'm like staring at the cam talking into it. But, you know, it's something new. See how it goes. One day maybe I'll be able to upgrade it. I gotta move stuff around. Set up a little background. Okay, there's the music for the game. However, I don't think it's going to work. Doesn't look like I'm loading in. And I can access the menu. I'll just show you guys what's going on. Right, so this is the bug. It's in the forever stuck loading match, and you can access your main menu. You can at least go back to your hangar or quit the game without having to go to your task manager or anything like that. Kind of annoying, you know. Apparently it's only happening with, well, I've heard that it's only happening with people that own ships where the 300i is offered as the trainer ship that you get to use until your ship becomes flyable. So people that own like the Gladius, the Avenger, the Cutlass, they're the ones that are given a 300i trainer for the dogfighting module or Arena Commander. And yeah, the bug is still happening. Hopefully patch 0.9.2 comes out just before PAX Australia happens and they fix it, because I'm not the only one that this is happening to. So what we're going to do, going to go back to the hangar. And yeah, just sit here for a bit and wait. You guys get to stare at my lovely face. I've got a plan on how I'm going to actually going to put a little back screen behind me so that, you know, like you don't see the half of my computer room and the mess that's behind me. I'm going to put a screen there, green screen, so that it, and then chroma key it out so that you don't see crap there and all you just see is my head and it's not taking up, you know, a small portion of the viewing screen for you guys. I'm thinking about overhauling my overlay actually, because I'm not a big fan of it. Like, it's probably the best one that I've made so far, but I want to try and improve on it. Want to make it a bit better. I'll probably get rid of the tippers and top tip thing until like I get enough followers where people actually start doing it. Because I don't really see the point in having top tippers if nobody's doing it. Which, you know, doesn't faze me. Like, I'm not doing this for the money. I just do this for the sake of it. Promote Star Citizen a bit. And it looks like Star Citizen may have frozen. No, there it is. Spoke too soon. Maybe I should have done that. Actually, maybe I should have done that sooner and it would have worked faster. Alrighty. So, once again, 300i, not flyable. So what do I do? Gonna go and grab the good old Aurora. I'm gonna throw the bulldogs on it. Dual bulldogs from my LN. Just gonna mess around with the holo table here. Alrighty, so I got the bulldogs on the Aurora there. Looking pretty good at the moment. There's still the bug with the weapons. If they take damage, they will overheat and they won't cool themselves down. Which, when you think about it, it might actually be intentional, but probably not. It's probably an unintentional bug, but something that could possibly happen to your weapons. If they take too much damage, they'll stop cooling themselves. Alrighty, so let's get into a match. Because I've almost been streaming for 10 minutes and I actually haven't done anything other than put weapons on my Bulldog. Correction, put weapons on my Aurora. Don't mind me, I talk good England. Go into squadron battle because, as fun as it would be to take an Aurora into the Battle Royale, I don't want to spend the next 20 minutes just getting dominated by 7 other people. I'm not that much of a sucker for punishment. Alright, so there's the match ID, guys. If you want to join in, jump in, feel free. Alright, here we go, match about to start. Going in. Actually, that music sounds like the match is over. That's not cool. Please don't load me into a match. That's okay. Excellent. Good to go.
Space Industries. Enjoy the ride. System check.
Okay. My voice attack is not working at the moment.
Stand by. Scanning. Front shield is down.
Really? An M50?
25%. Rear shield is down. Stand by. Scanning. Impact. Rear shield is down. Flare away. Chaff away.
Alright. I went the wrong direction. I should have gone straight for the asteroids. Ah, crap. Voice attack is not working. This is not cool.
Overheating. Impact.
Warning,
Impact.
you are approaching simulation boundary.
Impact. Alert. Systems overheating.
Oops.
Impact.
Warning, you are approaching simulation boundary.
Wow, I definitely got on the losing team.
Alert. Rear shield at 25%. Impact. Alert. Systems overheating.
Ah, crap.
Warning, you are approaching simulation boundary.
I'm already out of
Alert.
boost.
Systems overheating.
Warning,
Impact.
you are approaching simulation boundary.
Impact.
Warning, you are approaching simulation boundary.
He's just sitting above me.
Radar contact. Impact. Stand by. Scanning.
Alright, that's Hornet killed himself.
Impact.
Warning, you are approaching simulation boundary.
Stand by. Scanning. Radar contact. Rear shield at 15%. Alert. Systems overheating. Front shield at 50%.
Warning,
Alert.
you are
Systems
approaching
overheating.
Interesting.
simulation boundary.
Look, boost isn't really being like the boost quantity
You are approaching simulation
isn't really being
boundary.
affected by me using the boost at the moment.
Warning, you are approaching simulation boundary.
Impact. Front shield at 50%.
You'd think these guys, if they're in a more maneuverable ship, they'd be able to stay on me a lot better.
You are approaching simulation boundary. Warning, you are approaching simulation boundary.
Impact. Away.
Warning, you are approaching simulation boundary.
Target acquired.
Warning,
Alright, I gotta move.
you are approaching simulation
I got some hits on him. Now all I'm doing is using my
Radar contact.
vertical and horizontal strafes pretty much to keep moving around this asteroid. I'm using my boost every now and again.
Alert. Systems overheating. Stand by. Scanning. Rear shield at 50%. Stand by.
And
Scanning.
my
Alert.
weapons don't work
Systems
anymore.
Overheating. Target acquired. Alert. Systems overheating. Alert. Systems overheating.
Warning. You are approaching simulation boundary.
Thanks, man. Problem is, I can't actually get any kills. Weapons are just bugged out, and they're both in M50s. I managed to get some hits on them though. Quite happy with that.
Alert. Rear shield at 25%. Alert. Systems overheating. Alert. Systems overheating.
Okay, I'm gonna start flying around this asteroid now.
Warning. You are approaching simulation boundary.
Front shield at 50%. Alert. Systems overheating.
Snap.
Weapons
Was
system
not paying attention then.
damaged.
Warning. You are approaching simulation boundary.
Yeah. I think I've just damaged all my stuff. Well, that's a match done anyway.
Is victorious.
I managed to get 55 damage on him. I'm happy with that at least.
Weapons system.
They really need to get a self-destruct working on that Aurora. I need to quickly look at my voice attack profile and wonder why it's not working. I might just restart it.
G-Safe and COM scab disabled. Relative mode engaged.
I just had to restart my voice attack. Thank you for the follow there, Southern Cross. Alrighty. Well, not much point hanging around in the hangar at the moment. So, let's get straight into a match. Alrighty. I'll just join into the match and I'll switch to my loading screen. There it is. You guys can see the match ID now if you want to join in a bit of squadron battle. Hopefully, if you want to try and get onto the other team and try and kill me, that's fine. I may not be able to kill you with my Aurora's weapons, but I might cause you to fly into an asteroid trying to chase me. Here we go. Music's playing. Match.
Welcome to Roberts Space
It's about to
Industries.
start.
Enjoy. Welcome to Roberts Space Industries. Enjoy the ride. System check.
Squadron battle initiated.
G safe and comm scab disabled. Relative mode engaged.
That's alright. Alright, this guy's gonna start firing missiles at me.
At 50%. Flare.
Boosting shields.
Track away. Rear shield is down.
Warning.
Flare away.
You are approaching simulation boundary.
Impact. Flare away.
You are approaching simulation boundary. Warning. You are approaching simulation boundary.
Oh no, lagged.
Chaff away.
Crap.
Impact.
You are approaching
Rear
simulation
shield
boundary.
is down.
That was close.
Impact.
Boosting shields.
Impact.
Warning. You are approaching simulation boundary.
Alert. Systems overheating. Target acquired. Away.
The weapon's already damaged.
Is down. Impact.
Warning.
Alert.
You are
Systems
approaching
overheating.
simulation boundary.
Flare away. Chaff away.
Warning.
Impact.
You are approaching simulation boundary.
Alright.
Flare away. Low chaff. Chaff away. Alert. Systems overheating. Target acquired.
Ah, no.
You are approaching.
There's a bug currently with the Aurora where if your weapons take damage, they'll stop cooling themselves.
Impact.
You are
And-
approaching simulation boundary.
You can't use them once they overheat,
Warning.
and they don't reset
You are
themselves.
approaching simulation
Wouldn't be
boundary.
too much of an issue if there was a way to repair your stuff,
Systems overheating.
but there isn't that function yet.
Impact.
This Hornet pilot's actually not too bad.
You are approaching simulation boundary.
Radar contact. Standby. Scanning.
He was able to control the outer circle a lot better in that fight.
Target acquired.
Okay, I'm gonna try and get close on him.
Impact.
Fire from point blank range if I can.
Alert. Systems overheating. Impact. Target acquired. Alert. Systems overheating. Alert. Systems overheating. Alert.
All I can really do is just fly around him at the moment. But the other guy on my team, he's in a M50. He's just able to fly circles around. Like this Hornet can't keep track of both of us. If you wanted points, you'd just go after me. But I've already proven that's a more difficult task than what he thinks.
Systems overheating.
Just wasting my burst there. Oh, he just ejected.
Systems
He
overheating.
either ejected or left the match.
Radar contact.
No, he ejected.
Standby. Scanning.
Alright, I'm
Alert.
gonna kill
Systems
myself.
overheating.
You are
Destroy
approaching
the ship.
simulation boundary.
'Cause I have no working weapons, and there's no point trying to fly without working weapons. Although in my last stream, I think I spent like half the match without working weapons. I had an M50 trying to chase me down. Bloody hell, that's loud.
Welcome to
I'm
Roberts
still working out
Space
how the
Industries.
balancing
Enjoy
the
the
sound
ride.
for this stream.
System check.
G safe and comm scab
Radar
disabled.
contact.
Relative mode engaged.
Standby. Scanning.
Yeah, I found an effective strategy when using an Aurora is like, its maneuvering is actually quite good, if you know how to do it properly. I'm using a mouse and gamepad, so I take full advantage of like the horizontal and vertical strafes. What the hell is he doing? Well, this is a bit disappointing. He left. That's just it, like,
Stand by. Scanning.
it's not that M50s are overpowered, it's just, well, it does feel like they're overpowered. Their maneuvering is insane. Like, you can go from 0 to max speed in, less time than any other ship. You can stop and change vectors so quickly, it's not funny. Looking for one of those. There's a piece of space junk around here that's got a kind of like a triangle hole in it. I want to try and fly through it. Trying to find it at the moment.
Warning. You are approaching simulation boundary.
I think that's it straight ahead actually. Yep, that's it. Dead ahead, you guys will see it. Now it looks like you can't actually fit through it,
Impact.
but you can. See if I can park in the center of it.
Impact.
See, it's actually a lot larger than what you'd think.
Radar contact.
Oh, somebody just joined the match.
Stand by. Scanning.
Corwin, I remember that guy. He's a pretty good pilot. How is his ship already damaged? Alright, he's gunning straight for me. I'm going to be sticking around this area. He wants to fight me. He fights me on my terms. I think one thing that they'll need to do for the
Impact.
M50 is balance it a bit better, like probably give it less boost since it's supposed to be a fighter.
Impact. Track away. Flare away. Impact. Track away. Flare away. Target acquired.
Alright, I gotta stop playing silly buggers with this guy.
Track away. Flare away. Impact. Front shield at 50%. Impact.
gotta go on the other side of this asteroid.
Impact. Track away. Flare away. Impact.
Warning. You are approaching simulation boundary.
Away. Flare away. Impact.
Boosting shields.
Impact. Target acquired. Shield at 50%. Rear shield at 75%.
Is he trying to ram me?
Front shield is down.
Alright.
Chaff
I need to
away.
get back into my asteroids until
Flare
the
away.
shields regenerate.
Impact.
What's going on there? Oh, I had a teammate, I didn't even know.
Impact. Impact. Low chaff. Chaff away. Flare away. Radar contact. Target acquired.
Had to try. Almost. Had a good strategy going there. Using my team weight. There's a bit of bait
Stand by
there.
for reintegration.
Welcome to Roberts Space
G safe and
Industries.
Hey,
comm
there's
scab
two of them.
disabled.
Enjoy the ride.
Relative
System
mode
check.
engaged.
Stand by. Scanning. Stand by. Scanning.
Both Hornets. This is going to be fun.
Warning. You are approaching simulation boundary.
Target marked.
Impact. Rear shield at 50%.
Boosting
You are
shields.
approaching simulation boundary.
Impact.
No, I didn't. That was not supposed to happen like that.
Chaff away.
Warning.
Flare away.
You are approaching simulation
Rear
boundary.
shield is down.
I'm probably making all these funny faces at the moment.
Flare
My wife
away.
makes me so conscious of it when I'm playing games now. She'll just sit there just inside my periphery vision and she'll start making faces as well.
Chaff away. Flare
Warning.
away.
You are approaching simulation boundary.
Front shield at 50%. Impact.
Warning. You are approaching simulation boundary.
Flare away. Chaff. Impact.
I would really love a ship where I could actually go on the offensive and still be able to use these maneuvers.
Impact.
Oh yeah,
Rear shield at
Communication.
50%.
teamwork. Always trumps, you know, the best ships.
Impact.
Unless, of course, they're doing the same things in those best ships.
Warning.
In which case, it comes
You
down
are
to individual
approaching
pilot skill.
simulation boundary. Warning.
Impact.
You are approaching simulation boundary.
Systems overheating. Shock away. Flare away. Rear shield at 25%.
Boosting shields. Moving shields
Low
reared.
shock. Shock away. Flare away.
Warning,
Impact.
you are approaching simulation boundary.
Oh, I can't get too close. I need to change asteroids.
Impact.
Don't black out.
Alert. Systems overheating.
Oh crap.
Alert. Systems overheating. Rear shield is down. Shaft empty.
Well, yeah. 2 Hornets, not much you can do.
Stand by for reintegration.
Respawning.
Welcome to Roberts
G
Space
safe and
Industries.
comm scab disabled.
Enjoy the
Ran
ride.
out of
Relative
asteroids to
mode
hide around.
engaged.
Stand by. Scanning.
And you could tell that those two really wanted to kill me there too. Alrighty. Fairly big asteroid. Excellent. Well, I think it's going to come down to how they're all decked out. All the ships and that. Like, there's going to be so much customization options.
Target acquired.
Bloke.
Boosting shields. Moving shields reared.
Rear shield is down. Impact.
Oh wow, that did not go as I planned. Yes, I did just duck through that thing.
Flare away.
And I used the wrong strafe then,
Warning,
Engines.
you are approaching
and my engines are gone. This is the end for me, unless I can make it to the boundary.
Rear shield
Go,
at 50%.
go, go! Yeah. Still says that he killed me, but yeah.
stand by
Just looking
for
at my own stream there.
reintegration.
I think a pack of any sort of ships, like if you're able to outnumber the enemy and have a high level of teamwork, communication,
Welcome to Roberts Space Industries.
G safe and
Enjoy the
I think
comm
ride.
scab
you'd be able to
disabled.
System check.
Relative
like,
mode
take down
engaged.
any ship, really.
Scanning. Impact. Impact.
I don't know how I just missed that.
Rear shield at 50%. Impact. Rear shield at 50%. Impact.
He killed me? I thought I killed myself then. I mistimed that boost there.
Stand by for reintegration.
Respawning.
Welcome
G
to
safe
Roberts
and
Space
comm scab
Industries.
disabled.
Alright.
Enjoy the
Relative
ride.
mode engaged.
System check.
Since there's only 30 seconds in the match, there's one thing that I actually want to test out in the center here. Now notice when you try and take an Aurora
Alert.
through some of these
Rear
things,
shield at 25%.
you can't, a correction, a Hornet, you can't actually go through one of these spaces.
Rear shield at 50%.
Moving shields reared.
Rear shield is down.
Boosting shields.
Front shield at 50%.
I want to test it.
Impact.
Can't do that.
Friendly team.
Before the 0.9 patch, you actually used to be able to fly through that gap. Now it's a bit of a pain to do.
Reintegration.
And the music for this game has gotten really loud again. Oh wow, I got 236 points. Quite happy with that actually. And I won? Oh, that's right. The M50 in my team actually got a whole heap of points before he left. Just really want to get into a match where there's more people there. I think I might actually try a Battle Royale match. I'm not a big fan of going into Battle Royale with an Aurora, but, you know, like, I'm only ending up in matches where there's like one or two other people in battle, squadron battle, so might give Battle Royale a go. Try and drag some people around the asteroids there, see how many I can cause to inadvertently crash into an asteroid trying to chase me down. If only they counted towards kills. Yeah man, I live in Brisbane. Bloody sweating my ass off at the moment in old Brisbane. Don't mind me, I'm just fixing up a fan. Alrighty. Oh, nice. Might have something to do with my microphone settings. Thing is, I turned them all the way up. Cooper's Plains. Oh yeah. I live out closer to Ipswich. I'm actually closer to Ipswich than Brisbane, but I pretty much say Brisbane because not many people know the area that well. But I live in Booval. Alrighty, let's get into another match. Go on the Aurora again. So 300 eyes bugged. Going into a Battle Royale match. There's the match ID. For anyone that wants to join in, if there is anybody else watching that is able to join in. Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm currently unemployed at the moment, seeking work. Things should start picking up though, Christmas period, so there's a few labouring jobs getting out there. So that's kind of what I'm trying to just get sorted out. Yeah, it is a small world. What was it? One of the games that I used to play a lot of, well I still play a lot of it, but one of the games I used to play, what was it, about a year ago, when I was going to TAFE, doing a game making course. One of the guys that ended up on my course, he also played the exact same game. No, unfortunately I'm not going to PAX Australia.
Enjoy the ride. System
G
check.
safe and comm
I
scab
wish I
disabled.
could have.
Relative
can't
mode
afford it.
engaged.
Radar contact.
I didn't actually know that Star Citizen was actually going to be there until they announced it, and I kind of needed a bit more notice. Bloody M50.
Impact.
Although I will be watching the streams for it.
At 50%. Impact. Impact. Alert. Systems. Alert. Systems overflow.
must have got tired of chasing me around.
Impact.
Yeah, like I would have loved to have been able to go, man. But
Alert. Systems overheating.
I don't think CIG realised like just how much time that some people actually need in Australia to sort that stuff out. Do I know Underpants? Is he a streamer or?
Alert. Systems overheating.
I don't think I've
Radar
heard of him.
contact. Alert. Systems overheating. Impact. Standby. Scanning. Standby. Scanning.
Might be able to take on that 300i. So the 300i or 325A.
Rear shield is down. Standby. Scanning.
Something's hit me from behind.
Alert.
There it is.
Systems overheating. Target acquired. Front shield is down.
Boosting shields.
I need to get out of there.
Rear shield is down. Alert. Systems overheating. Flare away. Chaff away. Impact. Alert. Systems overheating. Radar contact. Flare away. Chaff away. Alert.
And there goes my
Systems
weapons.
Rear shield is down. Impact. Impact.
Yeah, I think like if it had definitely been in Brisbane, I would have gone. I would have been there with bells on.
Rear shield is down.
Oh,
Weapons system.
yeah, the Aurora's gone.
Flare away.
Oh, yeah, well, I just realised that I've been. I'm really sorry about that, guys, but I've actually been playing with my loading screen still on. I do that so often.
Respawning.
Welcome to Robert
G
Space
safe and calm
Industries.
scab
Yeah, actually, it
disabled.
would make more
Relative
sense
mode
that
engaged.
it would make more sense that it would have been done in Sydney, because it's a more accessible location on the eastern side of Australia,
Impact.
as opposed to putting it near the bottom of it.
Standby. Scanning.
I need to find a dogfight and leech some points.
Standby. Scanning. Radar contact. Impact. Radar contact.
Boosting shields.
Front shield at 50%. Impact. Radar contact. Target acquired. Impact. Front shield at 50%.
You know what the funny thing is? Like, I learned how to fly like this in the M50 during the free trial week, where they gave us
Rear
access to all the
shield is
ships.
down. Impact.
Like, flying the M50 actually gave me the idea for
Front
maneuvering
shield is down.
in combat a lot better.
Rear shield.
There's somebody else on me.
Impact.
It's that 300i.
Standby. Scanning. Target acquired. Impact.
It's a 325A. And I gotta start conserving my boost a bit more.
Impact. Alert. Front shield is down.
Of course I have it, so
Alert. Rear shield at 20.
Boosting shields.
Impact. Rear shield is down. Impact.
Moving shields rear.
alright, I gotta get out of that spot. That hornet really wants me.
Alert. Rear shield at 25%. Target acquired. Impact.
I do use voice attack. I've also got my OBS set up on push to talk,
Rear
so
shield
you actually don't
at
hear the commands that I'm
25%.
using.
Radar contact. Weapons system. Damage.
I just lost a bulldog.
Impact. Impact. Alert. Systems overheating. Target acquired. Trap away. Flare away.
Warning. You are approaching simulation boundary.
Gotta book it.
Rear shield at 25%.
Oh wow. I think by the sound of one of his weapons, I think he's using a mass driver. I really like doing this view mode. I think one thing they need to do with the M50 is they actually need to make it like a power-hungry ship. So, like weapons use more power. You know, take away the gimbaled mounts on it, because I think that just makes it way too strong. Fixed mounts only, because the placement of where those weapons are is close enough so that they can, so that you can actually steer the ship onto your target. Give me a sec. Alright, that's a lot better. But yeah, like the M50, it's so maneuverable. Like it shouldn't need gimbaled weapons to be able to stay on target. You know, you can put fixed weapons on it, make it a power-hungry ship. So like, bloody shields take longer to recharge. Put a smaller amount of boost juice in it. I think that might balance it a bit better. And then when they improve the targeting system as well, you know, hopefully that'll even things up a bit. Alright, let's get into the fight. Oh, you can change ships that you're looking at by left clicking. Or you can go back by right clicking. I just didn't know that. Right, respawn.
Respawning. G safe and comm scab disabled. Relative mode engaged.
if I want to get a kill, I'm going to have to leech off a furball. This Trud guy might be able to take him. It's got a Twitter message. Oh, this guy, error verifying humanity, is actually quite good. Oh, I got a kill! Yes, stolen.
You are warning. You are approaching simulation boundary.
Boosting shields.
You are approaching simulation boundary. Warning. You are approaching simulation boundary.
Really?
You are approaching simulation boundary.
Okay. I don't know if we collided or my missile blew up on him too close to me and killed me. Somebody's ejected from their ship. And there's another person.
Respawning. G safe and comm stab disabled. Relative mode engaged.
I'm quite happy I got a kill. Small victories. Like during that free trial week, like flying the Hornet and the M50, like I just felt invincible in the M50 with the way that it works, and the Hornet I just felt like a tank. Just go in there and just dish out pain and, you know, take hits to the face and just shrug it off. Oh. Match is over. Came fourth. Quite happy with that actually. Only just so. I know that's one of the things I hope when they add like the Aurora variants. You know, I can fly the LN and see how that goes, because that has 4 Bulldogs on it. And it's supposed to have a better power plant as well, so if it's got a better power plant and more firepower, it should be able to chip away at ships a lot longer. You know, 4 Bulldogs going ape on a target's going to do a lot of damage. Yeah, the 325's mass driver on it and the Omniskis are actually quite strong when you use correctly. Like, if you're able to gimbal all the mounts, which I don't think you can do at the moment, but if you're able to gimbal all the mounts and you put a mass driver on the nose and you put your Omniski 6s and you play your cards right, you just time your shots well, you'll be able to do, like, you can do a lot of damage with it. Like, prior to the 0.9 patch, I used to rock a mass driver and 2 Omniskis a lot. I kind of started off with 3 M3As, and then as I got better at, as I got good at that, I graduated myself up higher to weapons that required more accuracy to be able to fight with. Another thing is apparently the mass driver ignores shields at the moment, and the ships don't really have armor, so they just pretty much punch straight through when they actually hit. But the mass driver rounds are so slow that like unless you're pretty much firing it from point blank range, you're not really going to get too many effective hits on them. And after you play Arena Commander for a while, you can start, you learn the sounds of the different weapons. Like one of the Hornets there, I reckon he was running a mass driver, and his build was, he was running the Agent's Letty is going to be my character's name. It's kind of like the avatar name of most of my characters that I play in most games, and it's the call sign for my myself is Mongrel One. I plan on being a pirate in the persistent universe, so the group that I'm going to be with, we're planning on forming a motley crew of mongrels, so that just fly whatever's cheap and whatever is available, slap whatever you can on it, and go pillage the space lanes. What I might do is reset my Aurora MR's weapons back to default. Alrighty. There's my Cutlass. It's going to be the ship that I'm going to be using when I'm pillaging the space lanes. Thank you for the follow, Anarchos. Much appreciated. Alright, so gonna go back into a battle royale match. That was a lot of fun. I wasn't getting many kills. I got one. I'm happy with that. One kill. Had to leech it, but when you're in a ship that isn't designed for combat, you gotta make the best of what you got. Yeah, I actually upgraded my PC recently. I got a new motherboard and a new CPU. The graphics card, the RAM, and the hard drive I just pulled from my old computer because it was still pretty good. I upgraded my CPU to an i7 4790K, although I haven't overclocked it yet because I'm not too confident with overclocking equipment just yet. Took me a while to upgrade my PC too. Like unemployed, I had to save money and found some stuff around the house that I had to sell off. But, I'm really happy. I'm hoping that the upgrade that I've done is going to be able to keep it going. I'll switch to loading screen. Alrighty. There's a match idea if you guys want to join in. If you're playing Arena Commander. And I'll keep an eye on my stream, OBS stream, so that I remember to switch back to the game mode. So are you guys backers of this game, or are you guys just interested, checking it out, seeing what it's like?
Welcome to Roberts Space Industries. Enjoy the ride. System check.
Alright, here we go. Ooh,
G
brand
safe and
spanking new
com
match.
stab disabled.
And it's
Relative mode
another
engaged.
Aurora. This is gonna be fun.
Stand by. Scanning.
A Hornet, 2 Hornets, and 2 Auroras.
Contact. Stand by. Scanning.
Another Aurora. What the? Oh no. What's that noise? Oh, that's fair, man. Like a lot of people that I know that I've been talking about the game to, like, they're a bit hesitant at the moment because there's no real solid, solid game right there. Like, I'm quite happy with Arena Commander as it is. I don't think this guy's loaded in yet. I don't like attacking people as they're loading in. It feels a bit bad.
Warning. You are approaching simulation boundary.
Well, I purchased an Avenger to start off with, and then I ended up upgrading it to a Cutlass. So you can just like buy a basic ship just to get you into the game to start off with, and if you want to upgrade it, like you can upgrade the package. You know, melt the package. You know, purchase more. Oh, someone's hit me. There he is. Gotta pay attention. He is using keyboard and mouse. Okay, this is not the position that I want to be in. Oh crap. I was not paying attention then. And my engine's gone. Alrighty, so yeah, while I spin out of control wildly, try not to focus too much on the screen there. You know, like it depends really how you want to start the game. Oh, ship mode be going under control? No. I have no proper engine control maybe? No. Yeah, I'm gonna go soon. Yep, you got me. It depends on how you really want to start the game. Like, you can earn all the ships in game. Like, that's the thing. Like, you know, the ships, the pledges are for ships that you'll start with. So, you know, like, if you just want to get into the game and, you know, build yourself up from the ground floor, you can just get an Aurora package and, you know, get you into the game nice and cheap. Because, like, the price of the packages won't stay like that forever. And they will get to the point where they'll stop actually offering some of the ships. I believe it'll most likely happen when it gets towards beta. When the persistent universe goes into beta, once that happens, like they'll probably stop doing the pledge system and they'll start doing pre-orders. And when they do pre-orders, it won't be for like a ship or anything like that. It'll most likely be for a, you know, you'll be getting Star Citizen the game, which, you know, comes with Squadron 42, the Persistent Universe, you know, Arena Commander. Yeah, I don't think I could ever justify pledging that much for it. Like, I would like to be able to assist, like, like paying for the development of the game, but like an $8.90, paying $600 for a, you know, digital ship that you can get in game when it actually comes out. Like, I can't really justify it, and if my wife ever found out, she would kill me. I would not be able to do these streams anymore, so yeah.
Respawning. G safe and com stab disabled. Relative mode engaged.
Oh, wow, I'm coming third in this match, what the hell? Yeah, I actually want to check out what the Avenger variants are. I may actually end up getting one. Um, Actually, I'm pretty keen on seeing what the Mustang variants are too. I know you've got the racer variant, and you'll have the base variant as well. But I want to see like, I want to see what they actually do with that. Alright, I'm going to try and drag this guy into the asteroids.
Boosting shields. Moving shields rear. Balancing shields. Systems balanced.
There it is, he just hit that asteroid, now go in for the kill. Oh crap. Oh, I gotta do it again. Missed some good shots there. But that's why I go into the asteroids. I think they're gonna redesign it. Hopefully they do put a docking port on it. Like, there was like a circle bit on it that I thought was a docking ring. Turns out it wasn't. And that guy just killed himself. And that is why I fly in asteroids. Oh crap, I gotta get near an asteroid. Last thing you want to end up doing is getting into like these jousting matches against a Hornet. Okay.
Stand by for reintegration.
Respawning. G safe and com stab disabled. Relative mode engaged.
I think it was on the most recent around the verse. I actually showed some what was it, concepts work of the sucker punch cannons, which looked really cool. It looks nothing like what's on the Avenger currently, but they looked really cool. Alright, I gotta get into an asteroid field.
G safe and com stab disabled. Relative mode engaged.
You are approaching simulation boundary.
Yeah. Well, the Avenger was designed primarily as a police ship, so they're not exactly going to be going around blowing up suspect ships. They're going to want to disable them so they can actually bring those criminals to proper justice.
Simulation boundary.
That was lucky.
Warning. You are approaching simulation boundary.
I've got one lonely little M3A. Alright, I gotta keep an eye on my 6. That guy. Oh no, this is bugged out. Yeah, it's a pretty good point actually. I'm considering if they put them in the store that I might actually try and obtain a set for my cutlass. Alright, I'm gonna go for the asteroids again. I think I'm out of missiles. Does it? Oh, you gotta check those stats again.
Moving shields rear.
I don't know how I'm missing half of this stuff. Well, I've got cable internet where I live, so it's a pretty good internet connection. I also upgraded the bandwidth that I download at. Unfortunately, I couldn't upgrade the bandwidth that I upload at. So the download's actually quite high, it's 100 megabits, whereas the upload I believe is like 2 megabits, which, you know, is quite frustrating. One of the annoying things is the NBN is like the suburb over from where I live. So if I had NBN, I wouldn't have a drama with it. Oh no. And my missiles, correction, my lasers aren't working. Seen some good opportunities to get some kills. I'm gonna
Warning. You are
crash my ship.
simulation boundary.
One of the annoying features about the Aurora is that it has no eject function. Apparently it's supposed to have a bailout function, but I don't think it's working properly yet. Oh, see, his wing clipped something there, but visually it didn't hit anything. That caused him to lose one of his mantises. Those mantises along with the 2 bulldogs are ridiculous.
Respawning.
Especially when you're able to gimbal them.
G safe and comm scab disabled. Relative mode engaged.
Alright, I gotta wait for a furball to start, then get involved.
Radar contact.
Yeah, I don't think they've fully integrated the damage states for the ships yet. But at the same time, like, the ship's computers are designed to compensate for damage as well for flight mode. So they make some of the thrusters work harder to compensate. The Hornet feels right when you're flying it. Like, it felt like the ship that you should be flying in Arena Commander. Like, in an Aurora, you feel like you're flying a brick. No, the missiles are pretty crap actually. They miss a lot because the amount of flares that people get makes them so easy to not worry about. Oh crap, did not want to do that. Yeah, because the missiles are heat-seeking based, the flares just work way too well for it. There's a an Aurora there. Oh, this match is almost over. Really? I didn't kill him. He crashed into something. Um,
Warning. You are approaching simulation boundary.
not too bad. Wouldn't exactly call that kill that I got, that last one that said that I got the kill, I wouldn't call that a kill. I just happened to hit him just before he died. When he crashed into something there. I think when they introduce newer missiles into the game, like ones that, you know, do radar tracking as opposed to infrared, you know, you can do camera-based missiles. Yeah, it could be. That's quite true. Looking forward to the FPS reveal at PAX Australia. Or actually, it'll be at the Star Citizen event. But yeah, the FPS reveal sounds pretty cool with what they're doing with it. Like making it a more tactical type first-person shooter as opposed to run and gun, like Call of Duty and that. Can't wait until I get to fly that Cutlass. You know, take it into the persistent universe and do shipboardings and stuff like that, all that fun stuff. Alrighty, let's get into another match. Right, there's the match ID, but what I'm going to do is I'll switch to my loading screen there. Should show up. It's got the match ID there if you guys want to jump on in. If you just joined my stream now, checking it out, welcome. If you're playing Arena Commander, feel free to jump in. No problem, Southern Cross. It was a pleasure to talk with you, mate, and I'll catch you later. Hopefully, with the lobby system that they're working on, they'll do away with match IDs. But it would be better if they had a copy-paste function for match IDs right now. But, you know, we work with what we got. Is the game frozen on me? It's quite possible. I have a strange feeling that this is just frozen on me. just booted me back to the hangar. Alrighty. I just need to fix something up. Yeah, I've actually I don't know if you heard of him, but Mercenary Thorn. Sometimes I'd jump into matches that he was playing, and, he'd show the code, and I'd be sitting there like frantically typing it out, and get one letter wrong, or it'd all end up being lowercase or something like that, and just throw me right out. And I'm just sitting there like, trying to get into this match, and bloody the ID system won't let me in. Alright, let's try another battle royale. Hopefully I'll manage to get into a match from the start. Alright, match ID up again. Hopefully this loads me into a match and doesn't boot me. Alright, here we go. Match coming up. It's loading in slowly. OBS is taking a couple of hits there.
G safe and comm stab disabled. Relative mode engaged.
Cognitor. He was in some of the squadron battle matches when I first started playing. Alrighty, time to stay in the asteroid field.
Boosting
Oh,
shields.
that was silly. So yeah, when you decide to do a vertical strafe, remember the keys that you actually assign them to. And when you do your vertical strafe, don't strafe into the asteroid. Just a tip there for you guys.
G safe and comm stab disabled. Relative mode engaged.
Right, so we got a Hornet and an M50. Now that Cognitor guy, he's actually pretty good at staying on you. I don't think I've fought Grifter before though. French Tickler, really?
Acquiring next target.
Alright, he's in a Hornet.
Warning. You are approaching simulation boundary.
Targeting nearest hostile.
Okay, I think that guy's DCing because he's outside the boundary. Yeah, he's definitely DCing. Alright, he's coming back towards me. Alright, he's flying in decoupled mode a lot. Alright, and that M50 is now after me too.
Moving shields rear. Boosting shields.
Why am I flying the coffin? Because my 300i is bugged and I can't use it in multiplayer. And welcome to the stream, Liam. He ejected from his ship.
Warning. You are approaching.
That M50's after me now.
Warning. You are approaching simulation boundary. Warning. You are approaching simulation boundary.
I'm gonna use all my boost just trying to fly circles around this guy.
You are approaching simulation boundary.
Oh, thanks, man. I want to actually improve on it. I think that's like level. Ah, crap. Flew way too close to that bloody boundary there. I actually want to try and improve the stream layout. Get rid of the top bar and that. That's the M50 there. This is like the spectator mode. Oh, yeah. Right, your image of me is now shattered. But what happens if this is just an animated GIF that I've just put here? That just cycles through various animations. You wouldn't know. Oh, wow. Doesn't look like a good place to eject into. And another bad place. He's dancing. There's the Hornet. He's got 2 Mantis cannons. Ooh, what's that on the... Oh no, they're Bulldogs. Alright, what this Hornet's doing here, I'm just watching it now. He's got to change tactics. The M50 is way too manoeuvrable. Just to get it in nice and close. Fighting it out in the open like he is actually more dangerous for him. And it's something that I've been doing. It's actually going into the asteroid fields. So that the M50 not only has to worry about me killing it, but also it killing itself on an asteroid. I gotta worry about that, but I'm pretty good with my maneuvering. The M50 pilot though, in this matchup, he's actually quite good. Like, the M50 though, like, it needs another balance pass on it. But they got to fix the targeting system as well so you can actually hit it, because it's already been proven that the lead target indicator on an M50 actually doesn't hit anything. That Hornet was probably just circle strafing. Like, he was probably just circling around, because it's in space so you can kind of do that. Like, you'll see me when I'm flying around asteroids, you'll see me actually like strafing around the asteroid as opposed to flying in a straight line. Oh, it's getting close. The M50's taking some damage. Oh! Wow, that guy actually killed him. Good move. See, it's possible.
Respawning. G safe and comm stab disabled. Relative mode engaged.
System check. Radar contact. Standby. Scanning.
Targeting nearest hostile.
What, voice attack just get louder or something?
Radar contact.
Alright. These two are now in a circle battle, that's what I want to get in on. Hit the one that's the weakest. And I strafed the wrong way just then. Should have strafed up as opposed to down. I think he's out of flares. Or he doesn't know that missile's about to hit him. Oh, come on, really? It's that M50. Oh, that piece of metal had 4-2 on it. Someone just hit something. I think it does. Although, I haven't really tried either. Oh wow, I just hit something.
Moving shelves rear.
Oh, I'm out of boost. Yeah, if I had an M50, this fight would be a lot different. And my weapons are taking damage, so they're no longer going to be resetting themselves when they heat up. Means there are a finite amount of shots left. Oh, you got the kill. Where did I come? I came 5th. I didn't do too bad. Oh, I could have come 4th if I just got a couple more hits. Oh. Might call that my final match there, guys. Gotta go and sort something for dinner out for myself. It's a lot of fun just flying around with the Aurora. I'd like to be able to fight more, but, you know, like, it's a challenge taking a flying brick into combat that have a couple of pea shooters slapped to the sides of it. And then trying to make a dance while people are sitting there with machine guns trying to kill you. That's a lot of fun. It pushes your skill level. And one thing I do really like to do is use the asteroids to my advantage. I've caused quite a few players to kill themselves trying to chase me around by having them fly into asteroids while they're trying to maintain their sights on me. And you can see some of them recognize what I'm doing and they go flying away. Yeah, well, if the missiles were a lot better than what they currently are now, like, it'd be an even more effective strategy. But unfortunately the missiles are still in early development. When they actually expand on how they work, like implementing radar tracking missiles, image tracking missiles, I don't know if they'll actually be implementing those, but I do know they exist in the real world, and that's what they base a lot of their weapon systems off. So it's quite possible that missiles will track just by an image, or the current missiles just track by a heat signature or heat itself. Hence the reason why all you have to do is drop a flare and the missile just goes off into the boonies. Yeah, missiles have been worthless for a while. Since you're here, you want to check out the Cutlass? Show you the Cutlass before I finish the stream. Bit of lag spikes there. So this is the Cutlass Black. It's a base Cutlass variant. Designed for search and rescue. My game's lagging a bit, my PC's lagging a bit. But that's the front of the ship. If you actually look underneath the wing mount, that thing in the center of the screen, that rectangular thing in the center of the screen, that's actually a weapons mount. So the pilot gets 2 weapons, one on either side. And they're fixed mounts, I believe. Well, they could be gimbaled, I'm not sure. That glassy thing's got the, I think they're the lights. It could also be missiles. This thing's supposed to have missiles. Yeah, this is like the this used to be the only Cutlass variant, but when they introduced the other Cutlass variants, this is like the base model. So yeah, you consider it the lowest level Cutlass. Cheapest to replace, most common one, getting around. Right, that's one of the maneuvering thrusters there, and then you got the ship's main thrusters. There's one there. Moving around towards the back of the ship, just watch out for the pallets and stuff. This is all in the asteroid hangar too, the most expensive hangar in the game, currently. Alright, so this is the back of the ship. That's actually the loading ramp. There's a little button on the outside. Little blue button over here that you can press. And then the ramp comes down. And there's back inside the ship. Apparently what they're going to be doing, they're actually doing another concept pass of the Cutlass, because one of the things that a lot of players brought up, this is the back of the Cutlass. This docking ring here is pretty much directly below the gunner's seat, which is not cool. So they're considering moving this docking ring further towards the back, which makes sense. The Cutlass Red is actually the so unless you're boarding a ship to go and take casualties out, I'd be using either the Cutlass Blue or the black. To be honest, I'd just be using the black because it's the cheapest one. And being a pirate, I'm going to be a tight ass when it comes to money and stuff like that, so I'll be using the cheapest stuff to get the job done. And if I can steal it, even better. There's a toilet. I don't know why they have it there. Oh, the blue button. Oh yeah. And those things there, that bench, that's a bed. This is like the other side of one of the maneuvering thrusters on the side of the ship. You got a seat here that you can sit in for passengers. Computer's taking a fair few hits there with the FPS. Just trying to go into third person mode there so you could see around the ship a bit better. Jump out of that seat. Show you what the turret currently looks like in above. So there's a turret up there, the chair for the turret. Here comes the chair, comes down. It's a pretty bad spot for it because like you got the docking collar there and then the turret right above it. So if your boarding party's about to try and board a ship, you know, and bloody the enemy managed to like throw a grenade or something in there, you could end up getting your pilot, your gunner fragged, bloody from where he's sitting. I reckon that they're going to be moving that docking ring towards the back of the ship. Like I could even put it into the ramp if they wanted to. But you know, like they're talking about how they're talking about doing it, but they haven't said how. Alright, and you can sit in this thing. Take shot. Now those cannons on the side there, they're the neutron cannons that are currently in the store, but I don't know if they're actually going to be the ones that you get with the ship. None of the HUD for the turret really works, and the textures still need to be fixed up. And do like a bit of a head roll thing here. I believe that's the behind view of the turret. That's a frontal view. You got no periphery vision. Hopefully you can upgrade your turret, like replace a turret so that you got more vision around you. But like that's going to be like a HUD thing bit there, and then that glass panel in front will probably be a HUD bit there. And then you got your joysticks and that. Oh, wow, terrible polygon work. Just noticed that. But, you know, they're still working on it. Alrighty, then you can go into the main cockpit area. It's got its own little door, so you can separate the front and rear, just with those doors there. Which kind of makes sense, because if you're going to do like a 0G, like go out into space, EVA, like you want to at least close off part of the ship. To be honest, you'd think they would have like a airlock, a dry airlock that you'd have at the back of the ship. So that before you just go out, you jump in the airlock and then you jump out. There's the stairs. Just a little button here. This is a side access, so for pilots and that. Little stairs take you up onto the wing. And there's actually a button near the front. It doesn't really work at the moment. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But a ladder drops out behind the from the wing, and you can climb up that and come into the cockpit area straight from there. Then you got the pilot's chairs. I don't know which one's which yet. You got your little fans, but they don't work at the moment. You used to be able to turn them on and off. For some reason mine don't work. Getting in the chair. See around you. Periphery vision's actually quite good. You can see pretty much all the way over your shoulder. Oh, a bit of lag. See over that way too. And you can do a bit of an exorcist head movement. Spin around on the axis. Vision's pretty good above. Fairly good below. That's the main HUD controls there too. Then you got the little panel above. Yeah, the visibility is really good. I'm quite happy with it. Although I wouldn't mind, like, I gotta look up some videos on YouTube of people walking around the Cutlass Red and the Cutlass Blue, because the shape of the cockpit is actually